It was still dark when Daniel parked his car outside the old cafe at the edge of Vancouver's main street. The city was quiet, rain misting down like a soft curtain over the glowing streetlights. As he crossed toward the cafe, clutching his thermos of coffee, he saw something that made him stop mid-step. There, on the cold metal bench of the bus shelter, a young woman was curled up beneath a thin blanket. Her hair was tangled, her jacket soaked, and when she lifted her head slightly, he saw the faint purple bruise around her eye. It hit him hard, like a punch he didn't expect. She wasn't just tired, she looked broken. He hesitated. People passed by all the time, pretending not to see. Maybe he should do the same. But as he watched her shiver and pull the blanket closer, something in him wouldn't let him walk away. He walked toward her slowly, careful not to startle her. "Hey," he said softly. "Sorry to bother you. You okay?" The girl flinched at the sound of his voice, then turned away, mumbling, "I'm fine. Just need to rest." Her voice cracked at the end. Daniel knelt down near the bench, keeping a respectful distance. "It's freezing out here," he said, holding out his thermos. "It's just coffee. Promise." She looked at it for a long moment before reaching out with trembling hands. "Thank you," she whispered. He could tell by the way she wrapped her fingers around the cup that she hadn't felt warmth in a while. "My name's Daniel," he said. "You don't have to tell me yours if you don't want to." After a moment of silence, she said quietly, "It's Emily." The name seemed to hang in the air, fragile, like glass. Daniel sat on the curb nearby, giving her space. "You got anyone you can call?" he asked gently. She shook her head. "No one. Not anymore." He didn't ask more, but when the light caught her face again, he saw how swollen her eye was. It wasn't hard to guess what happened. He'd seen that look before, people running from something, or someone. The cafe behind him opened its doors, warm light spilling onto the street. "Listen," he said, "I don't mean to pry, but if you want to come inside for breakfast, I'll buy. You look like you haven't eaten in a while." She hesitated but followed him inside. The smell of coffee and pancakes filled the air. When the waitress asked what they'd like, Emily just stared at the menu, unsure what to say. Daniel ordered for her eggs, toast, and hot chocolate. When the plate arrived, she ate slowly at first, then faster, like she was afraid someone would take it away. Watching her, Daniel felt something stir inside him, a mix of sorrow and protectiveness. When they finished, she looked down at her hands. "I should go," she said. "I don't want to bother you." Daniel shook his head. "You're not bothering me. Look, I've got a spare room at my place. You don't owe me anything. Just until you figure things out." Emily froze. Her instinct told her not to trust anyone. She had trusted before, and it had left her on the street with a black eye. But Daniel's voice carried something steady, something safe. "You really don't have to," she said softly. "I know," he replied. "But I want to." That night, Emily took the first hot shower she'd had in weeks. When she came out, wrapped in one of Daniel's oversized shirts, she looked around the small but cozy apartment, bookshelves full, the faint smell of cinnamon candles, a guitar leaning in the corner. "You play?" she asked. He smiled. "Used to. My wife loved music." There was a pause. "She passed away last year." "I'm sorry," Emily said quietly. He nodded. "Yeah, me too." They both fell silent, two broken souls in different ways. But in that silence, there was understanding. Days turned into weeks. Emily started helping around the house, cooking simple meals, cleaning. Slowly, she began to smile again. Daniel noticed that she hummed while washing dishes, her voice soft but beautiful. One evening, as they sat drinking tea, she finally told him her story. The man she loved turned violent. When she tried to leave, he took everything, money, friends, even her confidence. "I kept thinking it was my fault," she whispered. "That maybe I made him angry. But the truth is, I just wanted to be loved." Daniel listened quietly, eyes glistening. "You didn't deserve that, Emily. No one does." For the first time in a long time, she believed it. He helped her file a report, find counseling, and apply for a job at a small bakery nearby. The first morning she went to work, she looked in the mirror and almost didn't recognize herself. Clean hair, clear eyes, no bruise, no fear. She smiled, whispering to her reflection, "You're free now." Months later, as snow fell gently outside, Emily and Daniel sat by the window, sharing coffee. She looked at him and said, "That morning, when you found me, I thought you were just being kind. But you gave me my life back." Daniel smiled faintly. "You gave yourself that life, Emily. I just made sure you had a warm place to start again." She reached across the table and touched his hand. "You have no idea what that meant." He looked into her eyes, full of peace this time instead of pain. "Maybe I do," he said softly. "Because you helped me start living again too." Outside, the same bus shelter stood under the streetlight, empty now, cold and wet. But inside Daniel's home, two people who had once been strangers shared warmth, laughter, and hope. And sometimes, when she walked past that shelter, Emily would stop, breathe in the cold air, and whisper, "Thank you." It was a reminder that kindness doesn't need to be loud or grand. Sometimes, it's a cup of coffee offered on a rainy morning, and the courage to care when no one else does.